Hello everyone, welcome to the another video on Spring Cloud Config. So in today's video we will try to learn one very popular option for accessing the Git private repository, and that is through SSH configuration. For this, first thing I need to do is I will go to my repository and make this repository private so that I cannot access without any specific key. So I did go inside the repository and the settings, and if I go down I can change the visibility, and I change the visibility. I want to make this repository as a private. Okay, so my repository is now private, right? And now if I try to access this repository, I may not be able to access and it will fail. So now it is giving me authentication error. Now my repository is private. Now we will generate public and private key that we can use in Git for our further processing. So the command for that is ssh-keygen. So this command, and we provide the other parameters. I provide my email address, and then further we can generate it. So it will start generating the key pair. I want to store the key inside this folder. I have to provide the password. So it generated a key pair. It generated a private key and it generated public key. Now we need to use this command for creating our key into the Git. Okay, so here I will use it. I have copied the public key and I'll go to the Git. I already had generated one key, so the place I need to go to Git. Wait a minute. Okay, I am in a Git. So here I go into my profile and here go to the settings. Then here there is a, on the left side menu, there is a SSH and GPG keys. Over there I already have one key, so I can delete that. I generate one key, can give any name and use this key for generating one key. Now I have got key and I need to use this key in a property file of the STS of the config server. In my property files for a config server, I need to make few changes. The first change is to change the URI. So this URI will not work. We need to use SSH URI, and we can get that SSH URI from, I can go to the repository, code and SSH, and this is, I need to copy, need to go to the property file and update it here. So this is the first change we need. Then we need to add some other information, like I don't want my local SSH to get interfere with a Git repository that I am accessing. So I have to say ignore local SSH setting. Okay. Another thing is to add the pass phrase. Let me get the exact name. So this is the exact name, and I gave the name as password. There is a way to encrypt this information as well. For now we will keep it as a clear text, for it will serve our purpose for now, and in a future video we will see that how we can encrypt and put this value as well. So here is my value, and the nomenclature for adding my private key is private key, then colon, and then this pipe symbol, and then next I need to add my private key. So how do I add this private key? So let me go to the PowerShell and fetch that file. So we will fetch a file. So let me clear the console. So I already put my public key in a Git, and I need to take this private key ID RSA. So I'll copy all content of the private key and we'll go to the STS and I will copy it here. Then I can indent it little bit. If you want to, you can indent, otherwise that should be fine as well. So here I will indent little bit, and then let me try to access, let me try to start my server. So now my server has started. It has picked up the Git repository. From the Git it is picking that file, and now let me go to the browser and try to access that file, the property file. So localhost 8071, and let me try to fetch that file. So here if you look at it, here it is saying that github.com. Earlier it was saying HTTPS, correct? Now it is fetching the repository from the private repository that we have defined. So we are successfully able to fetch that file. I can find that file for the ticket service as well. So now I have got a detail for the ticket service as well. Now let us try to see, is there any changes I need for the client application. So this is my client application, and let me try to fetch that application. So I am starting my flight service application, client application. So the client application, without making any change, I am able to access on a localhost 8071. So now if you look at it, the client application doesn't need any change. I can move my server property files anywhere we prefer, and client application does not get affected. So this is how we can access Git repository, our private repository as well. There are other options also available, like a password, username and password, but this is a good option. In case if you want to remove the access, you can directly delete that key that we generated on our SSH, right? So if you remove this key, now I cannot access, and if we try to access the application now, it will fail now. So now if I try to restart the server, so now it failed to authenticate. So this is how we can work with the SSH Git repository. And this is all I wanted to discuss about accessing the private repository using the SSH key. So thank you for watching this video.